Hello tankers and tankettes, welcome to one of my replays. This is a 9.1 replay and I am in the tier 6 Russian tank destroyer, the SU-100. I'm actually platooned up with G2, who I know, well, I'm not going to say I know him well, but you know, we've played together a number of times. I know him through SGTA, and also in the platoon is Tank Driver 71, who I think this was the first time I've ever played with him, but he's a guy that G2 knows. So we have got very good matchmaking, and because this is a 9.1 game, the KV-1Ss are the old KV-1Ss, so they're obviously something to be wary of, but it is pretty nice matchmaking, all things considered. And when I say we have to be wary of the KV-1Ss, you know, I've got that big 122mm gun as well, so they've got to be worried about me also. Obviously this doesn't have a turret, it has less hit points, it has less armour, but the mobility's still not too shabby at all. There's actually, as of recording this, the US, the NA server tank expert, the Chieftain, he's actually done a Chieftain's Hatch video on the SU-100. Of course, the SU-100 has, you know, in the video it's got the 100mm gun rather than the 122mm gun because it's the SU-100, but obviously in-game you get the option of making it basically an SU-122. I think, anyway, maybe the SU-122 was actually on the chassis of something else, I don't actually know. But regardless, you get that gun and it's a very good gun, and the matchmaking means that actually I can be reasonably aggressive. I'm not going to go completely gung-ho, but I'm not going to be a shrinking violet either. Tank Driver is actually backing me up. Tutu's gone north, and Tank Driver's taking a while to get here because he's in an 88. Now, by his own admission, he was playing pretty terribly on this day, and yeah, he doesn't really play very well in this match either. But anyway, there he is, and oh, first customer, a very incautious S35CA. He just gets completely obliterated. This gun, I mean, it's a lot of the tier 5 TDs, in fact most of the tier 5 TDs are just easy one-shots for this gun, and a lot of the other, you know, tier 5 and lower tanks are going to be hurting after you hit them. That was kind of a lucky roll, not a lucky roll, a lucky hit rather. It was an unlucky roll, that was 315, but it was a lucky hit in that it wasn't really fully aimed. So let's see if we can get a repeat performance, but no, he's being a bit retiring now that Tank Driver's turned up. There's also tier 5 arty in this game. On the enemy team they've got the LEFH, which is fairly fast firing and fairly accurate, but doesn't really pack that much of a punch. But if you get hit by it and tracked and then you get hit again, you know, 8-9 seconds later, you probably are going to be hurting by that point. It's basically a rapid firing slow Burt, pretty much. Now I'm just pushing up here. It's not going that well in the north. I mean, our T150 is, he's either a bot or a really bad player, so he's just camping next to the cap and he's basically not really much use to anybody there, although he is going to rack up 1 kill by the end of the battle. I don't think he does much damage wise. Oh, there's enemy artillery. If we can knock him out, that's useful. Just pull down, gun on target, and there we go. Now there's clearly stuff on that ridge. We can see from the marker that the enemy SU-100 is probably still up there. The enemy team also has a Nashorn and 2 Hellcats, so it's quite possibly Nashorn. Is it Nashorn? It might be Nashorn. I keep forgetting how you're supposed to say that. But yeah, quite possibly there's more than 1 tank destroyer up there. Although we can see from the north at least 1 Hellcat's there. G2 isn't going to last much longer, unfortunately. He has got 2 tank destroyers as backup, but they are outnumbered, and that's where the enemy KV-1S is. So it's a matter of looking for opportunities here, but it's not looking too bad on this flank though. I mean, we've got a Hellcat up on that ridge over there providing flank fire. There's a KV-1 behind me, and in theory Tank Driver's here supporting as well, but he's a bit too far back to actually be any use. Now I don't know, that was a shot that was just taken because why not? I had no serious expectation that was actually going to hit anything, but it seemed worth trying. And there's the Nashorn. It is Nashorn, isn't it? I keep wanting to say Nashorn, but no, I think it is Nashorn. So the T-14 is going to be on the corner, and I could stay here. I mean, I'm expecting the T-14 to pop out, so that's why I'm looking. And yep, there he is. Bam. That was a slightly high roll, and He's firing premium ammo, but you know, in that thing, can you blame the guy? The regular ammo on that tank absolutely sucks. And even though he was firing premium ammo, it still bounced. So the T-14 is not really a good tank in terms of its gun, just as the Excelsior isn't either. But I know I've hurt him. He's now a one-shot. And I think I've got the speed to actually get across there. It's a bit risky, but I feel like looking at the minimap, I mean, Tutu's just died. We've basically got that one camping T-150 at the cap. I feel like I kind of have to step up and be a bit more aggressive here in order to try and push things forward. And again, he fires premium shell. Again, it just is totally ineffective. This has got enough frontal armor that you can maybe bounce some of the lower tier tanks, but you shouldn't really count on it with this thing. Unfortunately, our KV-1's down, the Chihi is down, and we know there's got to be a Hellcat defending because a Hellcat killed the Chihi. And oh, there we go, spotted some things, and there's the ARL-44 as well. So I get quite lucky there. A couple more bounces, and the Hellcat does actually damage my gun, so I'm going to repair that. But I've taken no actual damage. I got quite lucky there. I mean, it's kind of it's a big punchy gun, but it's got a relatively long aim time, so I've had some lucky shots so far in this particular match. Unfortunately, that luck's about to run out. Yeah, okay. He gets away with a little bit of health, but in theory, you know, that Hellcat who is in G7, in theory I've got some good fire support from him, but I'm a bit loath to risk my hit points trying to... Oh, come on! Really? In his tracks? Okay, I'm expecting to die at this point, but that Hellcat backs off. Can I get him? Can I get him? Can I get him? No, he misses, fortunately, and I've just reloaded. It would be really nice if someone else would shoot this guy. Yeah, I think by this point I was thoroughly expecting to die, but fortunately, our Hellcat actually manages to get him, so that's alright, but I've lost a bunch of health. My luck kind of ran out at a critical time. However, that Hellcat did step up and actually finish off that guy. And we're now down to just 2 enemies remaining. Now, I don't really have the health to even take a peek. I could easily be snapshotted by either of these guys. So I kind of need somebody else to move up and do something. I mean, the T-150 has... he managed a kill, but he could be a bot and have managed a kill, you know, that's entirely possible. So he's basically out of it. We're not going to count on him at all. We're just going to pretend he isn't even in the battle for the purposes of what's happening right now. Tank Driver could have moved up a whole lot sooner, and you'll see at the end plate that at the end score screws he hasn't really done much damage at all in this battle. But the Hellcat he's moving up, he's stepped up, he's got his big boy pants on. I don't even know what I'm saying now, but that means crucially they're going to have stuff to deal with from 2 different directions, and he can take a hit. He's got enough hit points to survive 1 hit, so I need him to spot these guys. I need them to be looking at him, and then I can provide fire support. So there we go. I know they're looking at him. He has actually taken a hit, so I need to do some damage here. Nashorn's just about dead. There we go, big hit into the ARL. Nashorn is dead. Nashorn, I keep forgetting it's Nashorn. Anyway, or is it Nashorn? I'm just so confused. I have confused myself. Anyway, and can we get the kill shot on the ARL? There we go. Bam. He's down. We've won. Very convincingly. Although, I say very convincingly, it was still... we lost most of our team. But, that aggressive push there, you know, I feel like if I hadn't made that, it could have been a much more drawn-out match. But as it was, that was an ace tanker plus a high-caliber medal. I actually walked away with by far the most damage on the team. But that Hellcat did pretty well for himself as well. He was next with nearly 1,700 damage and 5 kills to my 2,500 damage and 4 kills. I kind of denied him a top gun with that last kill, but there's no guarantee he could have made that shot safely and survived, because the ARL easily could have killed him. Fortunately, their ARL was pretty terrible. He was about as bad as our T-150. In fact, I think our T-150 did more damage than their ARL, so both sides were effectively down a heavy tank. So it kind of evened out, I suppose, maybe. But as you can see there, yeah, it was myself, both Hellcats, 2-2 in 4th place, artillery, the T-150, and then tank driver after the our bathtub, and the bottom half of the team. It's not even really worth mentioning. So I kind of had to do a fair bit there to pull that result out of the bag. But the SU-100, when it's top tier like that, you know, it is a very, very dangerous machine. And I had some luck and I had some bad luck, but that's part of the course with any big derpy Russian gun, really. So, although it was the characteristics of the SU-100 that let me come away with that result, the characteristics of the SU-100 were almost my undoing as well, with that Hellcat that could have killed me if he'd been a bit luckier. There was one missed shot where if he'd hit me, you know, but then there was that shot that went in his tracks that if I'd killed him, I may have, you know, I don't know. Anyway, but it worked out. It worked out in the end. It was all good. And I have actually, I mean, I've kept the SU-100 because there are both Russian tank lines that come off it, and I've got the ISU unlocked on one line, and I'm slowly working my way towards the other tier 7. I don't have that unlocked yet, so although that's not a massive priority, I'm fond enough of the SU-100 to want to keep it around in my garage for a while yet. So if you enjoyed this replay, you can leave any comments below, you can hit the like button, you can subscribe to my channel, and as always, stay tuned for more.